to update in this video. Former WWE star LANA teases return to wrestling. Second update. NXT champion Mandy Rose wants to return to WWE's main roster.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is SOHEB and you are watching Wrestling Fact.
She discussed the idea recently on social media. Whether LANA makes a return to WWE or ends up in a place like U alongside her husband Miro is unclear. What is clear is that she hasn't ruled out a return to the wrestling industry, and a couple of social media posts suggesting she's still thinking about the industry is a good sign for LANA fans. Now going by her name, CJ Perry, the former WWE star, wrote on Twitter, "I hope to return to wrestling someday. My love for the fans and damp wrestling runs so deep." She added, "I miss wrestling. There is nothing like it in the entire world." Perry has been busy since her WWE departure. She's landed a couple of roles in movies and has been busy modeling and starting up third-party revenue sites that are doing more than keeping her in the green in terms of being financially stable. It's not a need to return to the wrestling business she's likely after, but a desire to come back, especially when you consider the way her WWE career ended. LANA was jobbed out in her final months and then ultimately released along with a number of others, but her wins never really came, nor did her push. After being released, many wondered if she would immediately go to U and join Miro. He often references her in his promos. She hasn't, staying busy with other ventures. Could the industry be calling? LANA wasn't ever known to be the greatest technical wrestler, and she took pride in showing her training in an attempt to get better. She clearly has a drive to improve and perhaps the motivation to return and be better than she was in her last run. And, with Vince McMahon now retired, is she someone WWE might once again look at? LANA as wrestler or as manager? Second update. NXT champion Mandy Rose wants to return to WWE's main roster. NXT Women's Champion Mandy Rose has dominated her division, but she's still got her sights set on a return to WWE's Raw or SmackDown. Since returning to NXT, Mandy Rose has revived her career and revamped her character. First, she traded her signature blonde hair for a striking brunette look. Next, she's embracing her mean streak and ditching the goody two-shoes attitude seen by Otis Peach, after forming her own team, Toxic Attraction. Mandy Rose defeated Raquel Gonzalez for the NXT Women's Championship and has been all but unstoppable ever since. Despite her success, Mandy seems aware that the NXT brand is not meant to be the end-all be-all of a WWE superstar's career. She's thinking ahead on the future of her WWE career. Rose planning her return. Mandy Rose recently spoke with Corey Graves on WWE's After the Bell. During the interview, Mandy Rose explained how she was a bit taken aback when she was informed that she'd be returning to NXT. "I'm super grateful for everything that has come my way this past year, but I have to say that in the beginning I was a little taken back, of course. I really didn't know what the reasoning was, why I was going back to NXT, but I knew in the back of my head and the back of my mind that this is going to be something really good. Anything I've ever done in my past before wrestling, I've always kind of had the drive and put in the hard work to create whatever I wanted to create, and it's a blank slate. I can create whatever I want." When asked if she wants to return to WWE's main roster, Mandy Rose replied, "100%. I am definitely enjoying my time in NXT, but at the end of the day, of course, I want to be back on Raw or SmackDown. I think I will be, and I think people better show some respect and show what I've accomplished at this point. Whether it's defending my NXT Women's title or whether I'm back up there trying to get the Raw Women's Championship or the SmackDown Women's Championship. When or if Mandy will return to the main roster is unknown. Her next match is scheduled for this Tuesday against the women's #1 contender Zoe Stark. I think it's time to Mandy Rose come to the main roster. And thanks for